You know, when we think of espionage, the mind instantly conjures images of James Bond or Jason Bourne with fancy gadgets, car chases, and encrypted messages. But what if I told you that espionage is far older, far more ancient than Hollywood ever imagined? Long before the internet, long before satellites, or even paper, espionage thrived. Today, we travel back to ancient India to meet a man who didn't just practice spycraft, he perfected it. A man whose secret network of monks, merchants, and courtesans once whispered through the corridors of empires. This is not fiction. This is the real story of Kautilya, the original spy master of the ancient world. In the heart of the Indian subcontinent, a man emerged not as a warrior, not as a king, but as a strategist whose influence shaped history. Kautilya, also known as Chanakya, was the brain behind the Mauryan Empire's meteoric rise. He didn't just guide emperors, he built them. But here's the twist. While helping build one of history's greatest empires, Kautilya also laid the blueprint for one of the world's earliest, most sophisticated intelligence systems. His methods were so advanced, many remained hidden for centuries. Today, we uncover those secrets, secrets that may just change the way you view ancient India. Are you intrigued? Good. Let's begin. Imagine a world without Google, without phones, without social media. In such a world, information was power, and those who controlled it controlled everything. Communication flowed through scrolls, carved tablets, whispered messages passed by hand-picked couriers. In this reality, spies weren't optional. They were essential. Kautilya didn't just understand this, he institutionalized it. His legendary treatise, the Arthashastra, is far more than a political guide. It's a manual for espionage. It outlines the roles of spies, their recruitment, training, protection, and usage. It's nothing short of a masterclass in ancient intelligence operations. Let's explore the remarkable blueprint he left behind. Kautilya identified spies not by their social status, but by their skills. He could be a wise saint, or just a merchant. Some spies created distractions, while others slipped silently into enemy ranks. It wasn't brute force. It was precision. This wasn't a band of misfits. It was a professionalized network with defined roles. Something shockingly similar to how modern agencies like the CIA or RAW are structured. Being a spy was not just dangerous, it was deadly. One wrong word, one misplaced scroll, and you were done for. But Kautilya anticipated this. He devised early versions of dead drops, secret places where spies could leave or collect messages without ever meeting face to face. He also emphasized layered communication, disguising the true meaning of messages using codes, symbols, and hidden meanings. If one message was intercepted, it would tell the enemy nothing. The real truth was buried deep, accessible only to the trained. But Kautilya didn't just want spies. He wanted observers, thinkers. A good spy, he believed, wasn't just someone who eavesdropped. They noticed body language, picked up subtle changes in tone, and understood the unspoken. They were analysts before analysis was a profession. He trained them to read the room, to predict motives, and most importantly, to distill truth from chaos. And how did one become a spy? Not through birth or rank. Kautilya believed that the best spies could come from anywhere: a merchant, a monk, even a dancer. He advocated merit-based recruitment long before the concept became a hallmark of modern civil services. And he believed women, especially courtesans, made some of the most effective intelligence agents due to their access to the rich and powerful. His approach was radical, practical, and ahead of its time. Once recruited, spies were dispatched on missions that would be familiar. Even today, tracking foreign diplomats, uncovering internal rebellions, monitoring economic health and trade, intercepting enemy plans. Kautilya's spies weren't just pawns. They were the eyes and ears of the empire. They shaped policy, warned of threats, and, in some cases, prevented war. But Kautilya was clear. Intelligence gathering must serve the state, not ego. Spies weren't tools for revenge or personal gain. The knowledge they provided was for the king to govern wisely, to maintain peace, security, and prosperity. If a threat loomed, the king would prepare or negotiate. If unrest stirred, he'd act before it escalated. It was a system rooted in information-driven decision-making. As modern as it gets, as we reach the end of our journey, let's reflect. The Arthashastra is more than an ancient manual. It's a time capsule of advanced governance, military science, and economic policy. Kautilya's teachings influence Indian strategic thinking even today. Scholars still debate his views on ethics, law, and policy. In a world driven by data and decision-making, his principles remain remarkably relevant. He called for merit-based systems, efficient institutions, and a skilled workforce. He pushed for ethics in economics, responsibility in leadership, and social justice in law. This wasn't just a spy master. This was a visionary administrator, centuries ahead of his time. What part of Kautilya's legacy impressed you most? His spycraft, his strategy, or his values? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into history's hidden chapters, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an episode of the ancient world reimagined. Until next time, stay curious, and who knows, the next secret you uncover may just rewrite history.